I'm very excited for Game of Thrones to come back, but the question is, are you excited for Game of Thrones? I know I got some followers that are huge fans of Game of Thrones, and then I have that 0.0001% of humans on this earth that haven't watched Game of Thrones. And if you're in that percentile and you haven't watched Game of Thrones, my question is why? I know you gotta be tired of your friends saying, yo, winter's coming. Hey, winter's coming. Hey, have a great summer, but winter's coming. Hey, I named my child Winter, so every time he has to come this way, I get to say, winter's coming. Yeah, don't be that person. Tired of hearing about White Walkers and dragons? I feel you. So I know you're sick and tired of hearing all your friends and family talk about it, so just don't watch it. Don't. But to those people that haven't, and maybe they have a little bit of curiosity, and maybe you plan to watch it, maybe you just need a fresh perspective on how to watch Game of Thrones. That's where I come in. I know these things because I was that person. I didn't start watching Game of Thrones till like season 4-ish, maybe 5. So I'm gonna give you guys my perspective of how I watch Game of Thrones, and maybe this can help you out. Tip number 1, and this is for the people that actually watch Game of Thrones. Stop giving stupid reasons to watch it. Bro, have you watched the new episodes of Game of Thrones yet? I haven't watched the old episodes of Game of Thrones yet. I haven't seen a single episode. What? Why haven't you watched Game of Thrones yet? I mean, I just haven't watched it. I hear everyone talk about it. Why do you love it? What makes Game of Thrones good? Because it's the greatest show ever. You just have to watch. Get through season 1, manage season 2, but then it really starts to pick up later on. It's so good. So what I picked up from that is season 1 is not that good. And it starts to get good after season 2. And I should just watch it because it's awesome. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. That's a majority of the reason people don't watch Game of Thrones, so stop giving stupid reasons. Tip number 2, stop limiting yourself. I heard a lot of people say they can't watch it because of the time period, the dragons, swords, the magic, all that great crap. And I get it, I really do. I love modern day action just as much as the next person. The bullets, the car chases, the explosion, all that great stuff. So that was one of my big things. I limit myself because I really didn't feel like I would get into the time period, not knowing that the time period actually enhanced my experience. It doesn't take away from it. And that's what Game of Thrones is. It's a different way of telling the stories that you're already accustomed to. It's just the fantasy fiction aspect of it puts it in a whole nother category to do things that modern television just can't do. So stop limiting yourself. Watch some fantasy fiction. Tip number 3, watch it in private. Yeah, don't tell the entire world that you're watching Game of Thrones. You can open an entire can of worms to spoilers and things that you really don't want to know about the show by telling people you're watching it. If you put it on Instagram, don't be surprised when somebody slides into your DMs and tells you about the end of a season you're not even on yet. So be careful who you tell that you're watching Game of Thrones, which leads me to tip number 4. Keep one trusted Game of Thrones friend that you can tell everything to. It's scientifically proven that everyone on this planet has at least one friend that knows everything about Game of Thrones. You're gonna need someone to help you shoulder the emotions of this journey that you're about to go on. And you need one friend to help you through that journey to explain things that you just may not understand. And that one person can do a great job of explaining it to you, but also not spoiling it for you. Find that one friend and keep that person close for the journey you're about to go on. And the last tip for watching Game of Thrones. The best way to watch Game of Thrones is not from your friend's external hard drive. Don't try to find these episodes online and just pump through them. My experience of watching it was through the HBO app. Reason I say that because when I first started watching, I had the hardest time keeping up with families, characters, story plots. It was a lot to absorb. And watching on the HBO app or HBO Go, whatever you want to call it, I liked it because after each episode, they go into a behind the scenes that helps you keep up with the characters, the story, and the plot. And it makes it much more easier for you to stay invested. So those are my tips of how to watch Game of Thrones. Hopefully it helps, or if it didn't make any sense, let me know that too. But from my mind, that's how I got into Game of Thrones, and it helped me out, and I hope it helps you too. But I do understand that there are people out there that maybe won't watch it because it's too much nudity, too much gore. It's not your thing, and I completely understand that, and that's why I'm not talking to you. I'm not. Nope. You can exit the room. To everyone else that's still in the room, that means you got a little bit of curiosity, and you possibly want to watch Game of Thrones. And once again, I hope these tips helped you out. If it didn't, I'm sorry, wasted your time, but if it did, hey. So as always, if you got something to say, drop a comment below. You got an idea, let me know. I look forward to doing more of these in the future. Peace out.